Hey everybody, it's Pax. So we haven't played for a couple weeks now. I've been pretty busy over the holidays, got super sick with my kids, hoping to get back into the swing of things, at least play a couple more days of this on the channel, and maybe finish it up off the channel if it's something that I can't keep getting to the table. But here I am. We're going into day 5 of this. Earthborne Rangers. We've failed to completely unflood White Sky on day 4, but we did successfully unflood the Golden Shore. So we need to unflood White Sky and Kobo's Market today. And in order to try to accomplish that, I am bringing Hadi's brother, Paul, with me. And Paul is an exceptional tinkerer with 3 in spirit and only 1 in fitness. And what I'm hoping to get out of Paul is a lot more ability to scout. Hadi has plenty of ability to scout, but if I'm able to scout for more of these floods, then maybe it will be a bit easier. And also, I just wanted to try 2-player a bit, and someone with a little bit more focus. So we're going to give that a go. The only real major differences between single player and multiplayer are that you have to take turns in order, 1 and 1. And if you want to go twice in a row, you can exhaust your roll to do so. But obviously, exhausting your roll makes it so that you can't use the ability. So that's one component. The other component is obviously that it takes more to travel anywhere. But Hadi has been so consistently crushing the ability to get around that I'm not too worried about that. I think that's actually not a big deal at all. The only thing that I'm really worried about is the fact that the mission itself requires 3 progress on this. Somehow that doesn't scale to the player count. I don't know why this isn't 3 progress like per character or something. I'm not really sure what happens there. But anyways, unless I'm misreading things, we're just going to go ahead with that. So let's walk through Paul's deck really quickly. He's an exceptional tinkerer, which allows him to spend 1 energy to add 1 token to a tech card. So he does have quite a bit of tech in his deck. For our focus first, we've got the Infusion Canteen. It's a 2 gear space, 1 focus. It's got the Explore and Reason with 3 sips. When you play it, you can choose an aspect and place a spare energy token on here as a reminder, which reminds me I have to go get some spare energy tokens. But you basically exhaust this using a sip to gain an energy, and this is a tech, so he can spend an energy, for example, off of his focus to maybe add this to fitness or add this to spirit or something like that. So it basically allows him to turn his off, the things that are less useful maybe into the card into energy that is more useful. And then he's got the Memorial Sketchpad. It comes into play with 0 Inkrills, and when a path card is cleared, you add an Inkrill to this gear, and you can use an Inkrill when a ranger interacts with a feature to commit an extra effort. So it's really just another way for us to, once we start clearing features, clearing features becomes easier. And also, it's not just features, it's after a path card is cleared. So you can clear beings to get more feature progress. Last in focus here is a deeper understanding, and he's a shepherd in addition to an artificer, if that hasn't been obvious up to this point. It chooses a being, it moves the progress from the chosen being to each other card in play up to 1 per card. So if we're using, Pakodo from Hadi, or if he's placing a whole bunch of spirit on something, we can shove that around and distribute it across the other cards in play. And I believe because this says to each other card in play, I'm allowed to put them on the location, which is kind of useful. The Ferrino Dex is a 1 awareness, 4 profiles, I believe. Tech card, 2 gear there. And when a ranger performs an avoid test, you can commit an effort, and you exhaust this using one of the uses. Again, it's just another way to help us pass tests. Re is very important for us here. This is a new way for us to scout path cards equal to your effort and then draw path cards. What I'm hoping to do with that is find the floods. We got to get the floods. The pocketed belt pouch, which is a really essential thing for anyone doing heavy gear play. As you might notice, I already have shown you, 6. If I only have 1 of each of these in play, I'm already using 6 of my 5 gear. But this reduces the equip value of your gear by 1, and also uses awareness and reason as an outlet to search your deck for gear and add it to your hand. So it helps you get set up quickly. I've got the trail markers in here. We can attach this to a card to make it a trail trait, and that just makes Hadi's decks sing. When one or more progress is attached to the, added to the attached trail, increase the number attached by 1. It's just huge for the Strider card. We've got Oru, which is the expert card in the Shepherd set. This is another being. You can move beings around and add progress to them, and you can also use up your fitness and, what's that called again? Connection icons to ready him and soothe fatigue. So you can kind of shove guys around, add a whole bunch of progress, soothe some fatigue. Really cool stuff. Calming Presence, you attach it to a predator and they lose predator. And then before a challenge effect on them would resolve, you can discard 2 progress from them to cancel the effect, which is just really good with his 3 spirit. I think that's going to work beautifully. Thoroughly Prepared, when a ranger would suffer 1 or more fatigue, they soothe that amount of fatigue instead. This is a 1 spirit moment. This is the 3 spirits out of the Artificer. And what I'm hoping to do with this is to make it so that Hadi gets exhausted a bit more slowly throughout the day. Healing Touch, you can discard an injury from a being to add 3 progress, or heal an injury from a ranger that's just really good. Between, with Riri potentially dealing a damage to someone, once Riri's in play and you've got a Healing Touch, you basically always have 3 progress for 1 spirit on tap, which is really cool. And then we've got Engaging, which is the connections equal to your spirits, which is good because I do have that 1 test here that lets me put in like my 1 fitness and 4. That'll definitely pass this test every time. I've got Balanced. After you succeeded a test in which you committed this, you may suffer a fatigue to gain an energy of any type. I don't know about this one. This one's kind of weird, but it lets you gain an energy, which I think that's handy. I'm pretty sure that's good. Perceptive here, it's Exploration. After you succeeded a test in which you committed this, gain an awareness, which is really nice. Another way to just gain bonus energy. And then Astute is our Double Reason card. So we'll just shuffle that up pretty thoroughly. And we're going to have to go through all the setup. And again, it's been ages since I've played, so I'm going to have to take some time to make sure I'm doing the setup correctly, because I'm not 100% sure that, strictly speaking, what I've done here is technically the correct order yet. But this is the location that we were at, which is the mountains mixed in with white sky. That's where our day ended on day 4. I believe one of these floods is going to be shuffled in during the setup, and one is going to automatically attach to something in play, instead of what happened on day 4 of both of them just shuffling in. I'm pretty sure the flooding is worse today. But again, I'm just going to take a quick look at the rules and double check I'm doing everything in the right order. So it's set up player areas. That's this part. I think I kind of have to shove these a little bit closer together to make sure I've got room for all my fatigue and discard piles and everything, but that's not a huge problem. I can make that work. We're going to elect the lead ranger. Hadi is still the lead ranger. We're not going to be changing the lead ranger to Paul. Paul's just here to help Hadi. So we set up the starting location, which just puts this into play based on the current location that we recorded. We set up our weather card, which I've already done. We set up the mission cards, which I've already done. We build and shuffle the path deck, which again, I've already done. It's white sky plus mountain. And then we resolve the arrival setup, which is white sky here, which is reading the entry and performing the instructions on the back of the card. So it's 3 plus the draw 1 path card, but I don't know if there's going to be something special for this mission. No, just a normal thing for this today, which is from your vantage point, you can see much of the southern shore of White Sky Lake from the front, from the froth of rapids at the head of the Silverfin River to the mix of rocky promontories and pebble-strewn beaches that slowly curve around and towards the opposite shore. There you see the village of White Sky and the tiny forms of villagers going about their business on the platforms and docks. But obviously, we know there's a little bit more going on than that. The lead ranger is going to draw exactly 1 card, which is going to be Artel, the angler. That's a nice gimme, at least for the day. Hopefully that can be not too bad. And then we'll go ahead and we will read a few things from the start of the day. Oh yes. Was I supposed to use 1.05 instead of the normal entries for these locations? I think that's what I did wrong, right? Yeah, okay. The wind has been rising steadily and now is blowing the rain in huge sheets across the lake. Swelling tributary streams threaten to overtake the shoreline. Animals and villagers alike flee to safety lest they be caught in the flood. There we go. Divert the flood by clearing beings and features while they have a flood card attached. After setup, Perform the following based on how many days have passed since the start of the mission. So 1 day has passed. We search the general set for 2 flood cards and shuffle one into the path deck, then attach the other flood card to the being or feature in play with the highest presence, which is going to be Artel. Okay, so we do that setup. He gets one. One flood gets shuffled in and one attaches to him. Ooh, I wonder if that means, yeah, no, after setup. So that's before the first path cards phase. So we'll just shuffle this flood in. And I believe we have one more thing to read. I have a 94.7 at the top of day 5 here. And I believe we got that from saving Lun up in the Northern Outposts. So we'll do a quick check of what that's supposed to be. I'm also going to do one more thing before we get going, which is grab a few dice in the off chance that we need them. Okay, 94.7. If you've completed Rescue Lun, you hear a whistle from outside your tent and stumble out bleary-eyed to Zizek Sal in your campsite atop his stilt horse. Got something for you, he shouts, and tosses you a leaf-wrapped package. It's from Lun. He said thanks for saving his life. You open it to find packs of needle tea. Each ranger gains 1 energy in an aspect of their choice for the first round. Now, one thing I haven't done is drawn my opening hands, so I'm going to do that and then decide based on my opening hands what energy I would like to take an extra of. And I will represent that using one of these dice that I grabbed, because again, I forgot to grab extra energy. So we'll do 6 cards for Hadi. We're going to shuffle Paul's deck a little bit more thoroughly, just because it was completely sorted at the start of the day when I was going through the deck there. Oh, you know what? And now that I'm kind of looking at everything, I'm understanding why now I don't have more flood to remove, is because like it can attach to guys like this who take twice as much to clear by progress if there's flood going on, right? Like, I don't know. That kind of makes sense. Also, if you had to like get like 12 floods cleared in a 4-player game, that would be insane. Okay, let's look at Hadi's opening hand first, and we'll make some choices on what we want to do with it. We got Eagle Eye, Thorough, breathe into it, Iron Wool Boots, Trail Mix, and breathe into it. So straight up, this is an amazing opening hand, and getting rid of these is fine. I feel like maybe holding onto the Thorough so I can avoid something is also fine, just in case Paul gets a little bogged down. So that's I'm thinking these are going and these are staying, but let's take a look at Paul's opening hand too. We've got a Deeper Understanding, Oru, the Pocketed Belt Pouch. Oh man, what an opening hand. Love Oru. Getting Oru is amazing. I don't think I need any of these right now. Not yet. And the Astute, it lets me do this test. But I don't know that I need it right now. No, so I think those are going. And he has a way to deal with beings a little bit by moving it around. I could just move it to Hadi. So we are going to get rid of the Thorough. So we're going to get 3 new cards for Hadi, which is another Eagle Eye, a Boundary Sensor, and a Leaf in the Breeze. That's really nice. And then for Paul, we get a Healing Touch, a Memorial Sketch Pad, my second Pocketed Belt Pouch, which I don't need, and a Calming Presence. But the second Pocketed Belt Pouch is nice to see early because it's just a reason icon that can be dumped into the first Pocketed Belt Pouch attempt. Right, so that's fine. That being said, I'm looking at these opening hands and thinking to myself, I don't particularly need a bonus energy in anything until I see what my opening path cards are here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a Spirit for Hadi so that he can try and get some progress on Artel here. And then for Paul, ooh, that's tricky. Maybe I do an awareness so that I can do 2 tests to try and pull some cards out of my deck. Yeah, I like the sound of that. That sounds pretty nice. So I'm going to be a little cramped on space, but we can make it work. So the reason I'm thinking this is it's going to cost 1 to play it. It's going to cost 1 to do a test. And so if I have another one, I can do another test, right? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that, but it's fine. It's also optionally dealing with an enemy a bit better. Leaf in the Breeze is also kind of nice to have done. But I think we've got a pretty solid opening here. So that's the setup. Path cards. Always start with Paul here, a fresh Sitka Carcass. And then for Hadi, or no, for Hadi is who we're starting with. And then for Paul, it is the Spiderline Stanchion. Okay, so I don't know if this flood was supposed to enter play. I think it was supposed to enter play now because it said after setup, and this is during play, right? Like I drew these as the first step of the first round. So I think this was supposed to go in Artel. Okay, so I don't know if I necessarily have to start with Hadi or if he just goes first, because that's what's convenient, but we'll just do that. Because we don't have any threats right now. There's nothing threatening going on. So we'll use one spirit off of him to just play his Ironwool Boots. That's fine. We're going to be pretty cramped on space, but again, we'll make it work. I'll try to keep my path cards here and maybe my equipment in front of me here to see if that'll help a bit. And my fatigue will be right there. So it's going to be a little cramped. For Paul, we're going to spend his 2 energy for Oru. And Oru's Exhaust, I believe that can be done like between actions, kind of, if that makes sense. It's not a thing you do on your turn, right? Your turn, your ranger turn is to play a card, perform a test, or rest, right? And before and after every time you do a turn, you can do any like free exhausts. So I'm pretty sure that, for instance, I could use Oru to move Artel, not along the way, but within reach of Paul, and put 2 progress on him, which wouldn't be bad, right? It would get him started, and that's pretty good. But I'm not going to worry about it like just yet. The other thing I didn't mention for multiplayer is when you've put your ranger token on something, you put it on this side, and anyone else who ever interacts with that card actually gets +1 to their effort because you've already kind of like made it to do that. So this is like watching for opportunistic carnivores to move your ranger token to this feature. Once that's there, it's easier for everyone else to watch for opportunistic carnivores because you're already like set up, right? You're just helping. So that's another thing that matters for this. But yeah, so boom, boom. We'll go back to Hadi. I think, again, we're just going to like take this round to get set up. I'd like to clear Artel if I can, but we're just going to move a little slowly. I'm going to put that boundary sensor into play. That's going to get 4 uses on it. And that allows us to commit a bunch of effort into traversing, right? But the only way for me to clear this is to get both of our guys there. So if maybe next round, if I don't have anything too damaging in the way, Hadi can dodge the carcass with Undaunted Seeker and get out of White Sky once we've got enough flood going. We can get some progress on that at least. Okay. Next, I think I'll go ahead and just play my pocketed belt pouch for Paul. Just seems like a useful thing to do. And I think that we are going to go ahead and move Artel. Oh, no, I don't want to move Artel until Hadi's had a chance to do that. Because if Hadi attempts to do things here, along the way is in between me and Paul, right? That's the other thing, is when you interact with cards that are not within reach of you, within reach of someone else is beyond along the way. So in order for me to interact with Artel as Hadi, I would have to like dodge this fresh Sitka carcass. And I'd rather not burn my ability on that. So we're not going to move him yet with Oru. That's why we're not doing that. Okay. Next for Hadi, we will spend 2... actually, you know what? We're just going to do the test first. We're going to do the test now. We're going to do 2 spirits. to try to connect with Artel and see if we can get to progress on him. We get a -1, and I'm gonna put this right here. We get a -1, so that's 1-on-1, so that succeeds. Our effort was 2, so we get to place 2 progress on Artel. That's really nice because now we can use Oru to move him over and clear him simultaneously, which is really cool. So let me just make sure, again, I want to take a look at the flood. Right, so when I clear Artel, the flood will shuffle back in and we'll put a progress up here. And sorry, I have a lot of glare from my window. It's not showing up on the camera, but I'm having a hard time reading that. Have 3 progress on this mission. So when we clear Artel in a moment, which I'm going to do, I'm going to exhaust Oru to move him and then add 2 progress to him. So that brings him up to 4, which clears him. And when a card with a flood attached is cleared, you place 1 on this mission. So we're going to do that and shuffle the flood back into the deck. But when I clear him, do I do anything special? That's the thing I don't remember. Should I be doing something special to clear him? I think I just go read 48. I'm trying to remember if there's a special entry I'm supposed to read instead of 48, but I don't think I do. The other thing is I do have to do the crests, but I think there aren't any active crests right now. Yeah, there's no active crests, which I think I do after he's cleared anyways. So we're going to clear him, and we're going to go read 48 and see what it does. So I was supposed to read this when he entered play as well, which was after I found the perfect fishing spot. And I would have caught sight of Artel perched on a rock just offshore, staring at the ripples where a fishing line sits undisturbed amidst the gentle waves. And he says, I don't suppose you're on your way to the Golden Shore again. And we can clear him. But we've already found the perfect fishing spot, so it's 48.5. And he says, I was just thinking about that spot on the Golden Shore you showed me. Best fishing I've had in years. If you're headed that way, mind if I tag along? I'm afraid I can't give you anything for it, but I'd certainly welcome the opportunity. No safer place than by the side of a ranger. We're not going to bring him. And then, so we just discard him and we each soothe the fatigue, which is a bit of a bummer because we don't have any fatigue to soothe, but at the same time, we got a progress in our flood and we've barely done anything. So that's feeling really nice. Now it's Paul's turn because that was his turn, and then we did this before actually doing anything. And you know what? I think I'm just going to retroactively say that I'm playing this Memorial Sketchpad and then doing Oru, because that lets me add an ink roll to the Sketchpad, which can then be used for putting effort into interacting with features, which is really important because this fresh Sitka carcass is a little tricky to get to otherwise. Okay, back to Paul. Paul's going to play his trail mix. There's his trail mix. It's just going to have 2 uses on it, but we're not too concerned about our uses. That's perfectly fine. Back to Paul. Paul is now going to use the pocketed belt pouch, which is going to be 2 awareness, to attempt to search my ranger deck and for a gear and add it to my hand. Now, this is 2 against 1 because it is a there's no difficulty printed, so I just get to do that. So 2 against 1, I could commit the other pocketed belt pouch into this one. I think it's actually just not that important for me to do it right now. So we're just going to try that, and if we draw a -2, then so be it. So we get a 0. Okay, so a 0. So we search our ranger deck for a gear and add it to our hand. Now, normally when you search, I'm pretty sure you go from the top when you search the path deck, but I'm pretty sure that when you search your own deck, you just get to look. So let's take a look. I don't think the Farina deck is super useful yet. I feel like the Infusion Canteen is really good, but I can't play it this turn. But I don't know if there's anything I can really play. The trail markers, I think I want to... Oh, they're not gear. They're a tool. So maybe it is the Farina Dex. Maybe the Farina Dex is where we go. No, I think we do. I think we do take the Infusion Canteen, and we can excuse me, get that going. And I did forget that when this came into play, it only had 3 uses on it, and now it's only got 2 uses. That goes in the hand. Now, we do have to look at our mountains. We add a token to the weather, which is some more rain from the downpour. And if there's an active predator, we exhaust it, add damage to this feature equal to that predator's presence, which, fortunately, nothing. Okay, back to Hadi. I suppose there's I can just try to do this. I can just put 2 into that and see if I can pull a 0. I've already pulled as 2 zeros, so it might not happen. But I don't see anything wrong with trying it. I feel like trying it's not a bad idea. So we'll just go ahead and try it. Another 0. Nice. Okay, so we get to move our oh shoot. Oh yeah, no, it's a difficulty 2. It's not the difficulty. I was thinking for a moment that it was the difficulty of the presence. So our token's up there now, and that'll make it a lot easier for Paul to get up there. But then we have to do our sun tokens. So this gets discarded. It's raining on us, and each ranger suffers 1 fatigue. So bye-bye to those cards. Let's see, is that showing up okay? Yeah, it's showing up okay. I might not crop the video today, just because I'll need a little bit more of my table space visible. Usually I crop off the red sides of my table because this table is absolutely jacked. So that's nice to have done. Back to Paul. I think that all we really do at this point now is we use his ability to spend an energy and add a token to a tech card. So we're just going to go ahead and spend our last one here to add an extra energy to the Memorial Sketchpad. And next turn, we can use ink rills off of the Memorial Sketchpad to try and get here as well. In fact, we can probably do like 1 awareness, 1 Sketchpad, plus 1 from this. That puts us 3 against 2. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay. That was an exhaust ability though, so we're just going to rest with Paul, and then we're going to. Do I want to? This is the real tricky part. Do I want to try to do a couple of extra card draws with Hadi, or do I take this day slower? And I think the answer is that I take this day slower. I would like to not exhaust out as quickly as I have been. So we're just going to rest with both of them. So. No travel's happening, no travel step. So then we get into refreshing, which is getting all of our energy back, readying all the cards. Drawing 1 for Paul, the other infusion canteen, and drawing 1 for Hadi, compassionate. Okay, that's good. Compassionate's good. We'll take compassion, and the nice thing is that we've got a bunch of awareness that we can use. Since we've completed this turn, I've got all this awareness available to do Eagle Eyes to get more floods out, which I'm really excited for. Especially if I can get a flood out onto the fresh Sitka carcass, and then Paul can get up to the Sitka carcass. That clears it instantly, and then we've got another flood dealt with. That'd be awesome. Okay, I don't think this does anything. This doesn't do anything right now. This is not, the downpour is just tokens. It's not like the sunny day. So it's just the top of the round, which is more path cards. Hadi gets an agitated Meadowlarks. This is a 1 presence, 1 health, I guess, 3 progress. A spirit and heart to listen for your Meadowlark song to move your ranger token to this being. Before a being moves or enters play within reach, you may remove your ranger token from this prey to exhaust that being. Okay. And then for Paul, he gets the Pouncing Aatrox, which has Ambush. Now, I don't remember what Ambush does. I'm going to look that up really quick. When a card with the Ambush keyword enters play within reach or moves within reach of a ranger, it fatigues that ranger. Only ready cards can fatigue you. Okay, so he just fatigues Paul by 2. Which is a little bit annoying because he does not have as many ways to soothe fatigue as Hadi does. But we do have Oru, and that's how we can use our 1 fitness. So that's fine. So that's good. That's not an unreasonable turn. I'm pretty happy with that, I think. But I do have to be careful. Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to choose who goes first or if it's just always the lead player. And I feel like I'd prefer Paul to go first. Maybe I could just dodge the pouncing Aatrox. But probably not. I wonder what I can do about the Aatrox. I could make him not a predator, which, you know, is kind of funny, more than anything. I don't know if it's actually good, making him not a predator, but like if I played the Calming Presence, we could make it so that he doesn't really do these. And also anything that cares about whether there's a predator or not won't do anything. So here's what I'm thinking right now is I'd like to like move this Aatrox over to Hadi so Hadi can be the one that's managing it because he has ways to dodge multiple guys. He can connect with guys pretty effectively with this. In fact, moving him over with 2 progress and then also doing a 4 into this could just clear him instantly. But the trick with that is if I move him before he gets exhausted, he's going to ambush Hadi as well. Now, that might not be a big deal. I could turn that into 2 card draw, right? That could be 2 free card draw. And just use a trail mix. But I don't know that that's what I want right now. I could Eagle Eye and see if I can find something else to do. And I think that's really got to be the answer right now. Is playing an Eagle Eye. So we're going to pay 1 and play an Eagle Eye, which scouts the path cards, the top 3, and then draws 1. Elder Murtok Growl, another agitated Meadowlarks, and a circling Irix. So I don't want the Irix in play at all. He's going on the bottom. I feel like taking the Meadowlarks might be the best bet. If I put them all away and I draw something worse than the Meadowlarks, that's nasty. But maybe I do just get rid of them all. I'm going to put the Meadowlarks and Growl on the top there, and we're just going to draw the next card instead. Vera. Okay, she's in within reach of Hadi here, and we'll read 49. So she's at the helm of the Doc Dolwood longboat. She says, I'm Vera. I make supply runs all over the lake. And if you need to ride somewhere around White Sky, I can take you. Just make sure you're ready to go when you call on me. So you can clear her to charter a boat to immediately travel to any location on White Sky Lake, which could maybe get us closer to, I believe it's Kobo's Market, which is where we need to get next. I don't know if Kobo's Market counts as on White Sky Lake. It probably doesn't all the way there. There's no way. But it might get us to like Lone Tree Station, which we could just like walk through like that or something. But I mean, no, we'd just as soon travel through Boulder Field to get to Kobo's Market, I bet. So, okay. So Vera's in play. She takes 6 to clear. But she can discard water obstacles. And last but not least, playing that soothes a fatigue with my Iron Wool boots. Ooh, discard any number of progress from a trail to add an equal number of damage to a being. This is a trail. That might be the solution to what we need to do. Okay, so that was Hadi's turn. He played his Eagle Eye. So we're going to go over to Paul. I think Paul... Oh man, that's hard to say what we want to do here. I feel like I can make him lose the Predator trait. And that makes it so that anyone who says, like, if there's an active Predator, that just won't happen. And that's really tempting. The other option is to just do a whole bunch of connection before sending him. I can do a big connect on him. And one of the ways I can do a really big connect is playing my Infusion Canteen and putting it into Spirit. I might be able to get 4 progress on him by doing that. But Hadi would have to take another turn. So, let's do that. So we're going to spend 1 focus to put in an Infusion Canteen into play. That's going to have 3 sips, and we're going to put those 3 sips on as a yellow dice to indicate that it is 3 Spirit energy. On there. So that's Hadi's turn. Or sorry, Paul's turn. Back to Hadi. I think D is actually just like doing other stuff and not caring too much about what's going on over here. Because I'm pretty sure Paul can clear that Aatrox with four, and then 2 from Oru. That clears him. So we're probably just doing our own thing. And I suppose, what does doing our own thing look like? It might look like just doing a big connect test with Vera. If we do a big connect test with Vera, then we've got like 4 progress on her, and then Oru can finish her off the next turn. What I'd very much like is to get another Flood, but maybe we'll just get some progress on Vera first. We're going to leave the Meadowlarks in play right now. We're going to do a big connect on Vera. So we've got 4 against 2, -1, so we got 3 against 2. So that does put 3 on there. Do we have any nasty crests? I think the answer is no. And the reason I think the answer is no is because this says if there's an active predator, exhaust it. But cards within reach of other players are not active unless you're interacting with cards within reach of them. So right now, I don't think the Aatrox is active. And people are going to have to correct me in the comments on that one if that's the case. Because I'm fairly certain that's correct, but don't quote me on it. So we got 3 progress on there, and nothing bad happened. I'm happy with that. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Super. Next is back to Paul. And I guess there's a question of, is Paul going to do anything crazy here? And I don't think Paul cares to do anything too crazy. We could search our deck for more gear, but I'm okay on gear right now. I don't want to draw crests because I do have 2 or more fatigue, and that would suffer injury. These would go into my discard pile. They'd be like out. So I also don't have a great way to dodge him right now. I suppose I could play another Infusion Canteen and just get more Spirit, but that seems a little wasteful. How many negatives have we taken on Spirit? A -1, a -1, a +1, and a -1? I'm feeling pretty okay about a 0. Let's just do it. So we're going to exhaust our Fusion Canteen to gain an energy of the chosen aspect and spend 4 to try to connect with the Pouncing Aatrox. So 4 against 2, hopefully not a crest. I did get a -1, which is a bit of a bummer. So we only get 3 progress on him. But otherwise, pretty reasonable. We do lose 1 rain from Downpour from the sun. If your Ranger token is not on this feature, exhaust this feature and search the path deck for the next Predator and put it into play. Ugh. So what have we got for... Oh, there's a Flood token. The very next thing was going to be a Flood. That is so depressing. There's the Pouncing Aatrox. Ugh. It's a little painful, but it's not the worst in the world, I don't think. And put it into play. So it is in play within reach of Paul, which is a huge bummer because we're getting really congested over here. But let's just do that. He's going to pop in right there, and that's going to do 2 more fatigue to Paul. But after that one, oh, and it should have been 1 fatigue from each of them as well. How many have I done so far? 1 from rain, 2 from that, 1 from rain, 2 from that. Yep, that's correct. But now, if there's another active predator, the Aatrox pounces. Add 2 to that predator and 1 to this being. So we're getting 1 and 2. And then if there's another active predator, Add 2 to that predator and 1 to this being. So we get 3 and 3. So they're actually pretty ass beaten up right now. They're thoroughly fighting one another. Now, the one thing that they don't do is they don't exhaust when they do that, which is a little painful. But we're back to Hadi now. A little poopy. I really would have liked to have gotten that flood, but we're not going to be able to do that. Let's just go ahead and... Ooh, that's tricky. We're going to go ahead and dodge the fresh Sitka carcass to try to travel to White Sky. So we're going to take 1 fatigue from the agitated meadowlark, but we're going to be able to put 3 and then a 4 into that. So here's the dodge, there's that. And that's gonna be pretty good. We're gonna be 4 against 1 there. I'd like to just get some progress up there. I think that'd be really helpful. So we'll give that a go. -1. So we're getting 3 progress up on White Sky. And unfortunately, another sun icon, which is 1 less rain, 1 more fatigue. Paul is getting his fucking ass kicked. Any more suns? My thing is on that feature, so I do not have to... Oh, and it would have exhausted anyways. And there's no more suns going on here. So that's fine. We got 3 progress up there, which I'm pretty happy about. Now back to Paul. There's a couple of things going on. The first one being Healing Touch, of just healing 1 from him and clearing him. But we can't do that until next turn. Unless I spend 1 focus to play another Fusion Canteen for even more spirit, which I'm definitely going to do. Now, I am going to be almost maxed out on my capacity. I have 3 here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of my 5 gear, so I can only play 1 more gear, but hopefully I can get these infusion canteens used up and we'll be in okay shape. But we're just going to go ahead and exhaust this and take a sip and get 1 energy so that we can play the Healing Touch on the other Aatrox next turn. Back to Hadi. I don't know that there's much else for him to do this turn. I could do an Eagle Eye, but I kind of don't want to draw the floods right now. They're going to go on the fresh Sitka carcass, and then maybe that gets out of hand. So, yeah, we're not gonna bother with that. So Hadi is just going to rest. We'll save the trail mix to return some cards to our hand next turn. Back to Paul. We're going to, like I said, spend that 1 energy to do a Healing Touch, which is going to remove 1 injury from him, but then place 3 progress on him, and that will clear him. So he's cleared. And when we clear him, we get an Inkro on that card. Now, I should have used 1 of those when a Ranger was interacting up here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put 1 on that and take 1 off this. Because that's the whole point of it, right? Is to get more progress when I do stuff. Yeah, that's that. The only other thing, I guess, is that now that Hadi is rested, we can move beings around and add progress to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exhaust Oru to move the agitated meadowlark over to Hadi. Or over to Paul, rather, and give him 2 progress. And the reason I'm doing that is because maybe I can clear him next turn, but if not, the mountain now makes the Aatrox kill him for me, and also exhausts the Aatrox. So there's a lot of things going on with that. I suppose I could have moved the Aatrox to here, but I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's... Maybe that is better, actually. Can I just move the Aatrox to... along the way? Yeah, we're going to do that instead, actually. I'm pretty sure that I can just move the Aatrox along the way, and I feel like that's a lot cleaner. So we'll move him along the way, and we'll put 2 progress on him. we'll feel pretty good about that. And I think that can I now interact with the fresh Sitka carcass? I shouldn't have rested with Hadi. That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and spend an energy to add an extra use onto the memorial sketch pad. And then last action, I think we're going to... No, I don't think we're going to bother with that. We're just going to we're just going to rest. Just going to rest. Okay. Resting. Everyone's going to ready. Draw a card. The Farinadex for Paul. And a Thorough for Hadi, which is pretty good, actually. That's really nice. And then top of the round, we get path cards. Hadi, another agitated meadowlarks. I've got 2 of them in front of Hadi. And then for Paul, we get the bubble, which is 50, but I've already been to the bubble. I'm not going to bother reading that. I don't think it's relevant. It's fine. We're certainly not doing the test on it, so no worries there. Now we're looking at Hadi, and we're going to go ahead and use a trail mix on him to soothe 3 fatigue. We've got Forted by Nature, a paths we've roamed before, and a Breathe into it. Cool. So now that we've got paths we've roamed before and an Eagle Eye in the discard pile, we can start really churning through what we're doing for these floods. And now I think maybe is the time to play this second Eagle Eye. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and play the Eagle Eye. So we're going to scout 3 cards. Draw 1. I don't remember if I shuffled this. Let's see. A Flood, an Irex, and a Fractal Wire. The Fractal Wires look kind of annoying. So we're going to go ahead and put both of those on the bottom. The Flood attaches to the feature or being with the highest presence that doesn't already have a Flood attached, which is going to be the fresh Sitka carcass. Now, all I need to do is have Paul get his token up there, and that's not too hard because he just needs to do this awareness test with some hearts into it. And he's already getting a +1, and he already has the memorial sketchpad to get another +1. So we're just going to go ahead right into his turn and do that. That's 2, 3, and 4 from this. So 4 against 2, we're just going to go ahead and get that done. We've got a -1, which is not too bad. We have moved our token there, which clears it. So that's going to put 1 on that. The Flood's going to get shuffled back in, and the fresh Sitka carcass is going to go into the discard pile, which gives us another memorial sketchpad. Ooh, is that a feature? Yeah, that is a feature. Okay. The Flood gets shuffled away. Okay. There's that. Now, what am I forgetting? I am forgetting to, these return to the characters, do the crests. If you have 2 or more fatigue, exhaust this being and suffer an injury. Oh, all of this gets discarded. No, Riri. Shit. Oh, that's a huge bummer. All that gets discarded. But he is exhausted at least. And we take an injury on Paul. Now, I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything about that, so I am going to double check the rules on what happens when you suffer an injury. Right, so the big thing is that I have to suffer fatigue when I rest each round now. So I would love to get a healing touch back on me, but are both of them gone now? Just one of them's gone, so I still have a healing touch in the deck somewhere. Oof, that hurts. Okay, but that's dealt with. We've got 2 of the Floods done here that we need, and then we've just got to get away. So the next thing, I guess, is it's back to Hadi. I guess I could just afford by nature him to discard 1 from the trail and say goodbye. That might not be a bad idea. The Aatrox is exhausted though, so maybe that's not necessary. Might not be necessary yet. Probably need to get rid of one of these Meadowlarks though. So let's just like try a connect with one of them. Put our connect into it. A 0. So we get 2 progress on one of them. And then we get a sun, which is going to shuffle back in, but we're each going to take a fatigue from the downpour. Ugh. This is bad. Is there any more sun things? There's no other sun things in play aside from the rain. So then this shuffles the challenge deck back in. You know what I'm looking at right now is maybe I should have double sipped my infusion canteen and tried to talk with him first. Connect with the Aatrox to get him kicked out of play. That might have been a smarter play. It would have saved me a lot of things in my fatigue pile. But such is life. It's easy to forget stuff like that. It's easy to misplay things like that. Okay. We're back to Paul. I could get the Farinadex in play, which is not possible because I don't have enough awareness. So, not happening. Maybe I do. You know what? I'm just going to do a 3 connect into one of the other Meadowlarks. Onto the other one. And that leaves us open to using Oru to move them and get rid of them as necessary. I think is the right play here. Ooh, maybe I do it into Vera. Try and get rid of her. I don't want to put 3 on her and clear her though, because I would like to save that for the get a flood on her first. Okay, we're going to do 3 into the other Meadowlark. -1. So we get 2 on him. And I guess the important thing is, like, again, we're reaching across through everything, but the Aatrox is exhausted, so it's not fatiguing us. So 2 on there from successfully doing that. We add 1 token to the weather. That's a bummer. And then these guys have this if there's an active predator, but he's not active because he is exhausted. So that's all of that. Back to Hadi. No, not back to Hadi. I think what we're going to do is we are going to use Oru to exhaust one of them and add 2 progress to just clear one of them. Just get rid of one of them. And when he's cleared, this will go up 1. And then for Hadi, we are going to dodge the Meadowlark and do another big getting out of here. We're just going to use 1 from the Memorial Sketchpad, and we're going to use 1 from the Boundary Sensor to be 5 against 1. +1. Okay, so we're going to put like 6 up here. So we're gone whenever we need to be. And then we get our Suns, which is 1 more fatigue off of everyone. Holy moly. And I think that that's the only thing going on there. So that's nice. If we get something really nasty and it gets flooded, I have this afforded by nature because this is a trail. I can just dump it all off and finish them off. So that's really nice. I really like that. I think what we're going to do on Hadi is we're going to just spend a focus to place an energy back onto one of these. And then we're going to take 2 energy, 2 spirit energy, and try another connect with this Meadowlark just to try and get rid of it. Yep. 0. So that does get rid of him. He's cleared. That's another path card cleared. These are each exhausted. And now the sun. So there's our last downpour, which is 1 more fatigue for each of them. And Paul is just 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He is getting absolutely hammered. Unfortunately, not helping a tremendous amount with getting out of here. But what we might be able to do is have, like, stave off the rain a little bit with Paul. That could be really interesting. Because I really couldn't do that with Hadi. Back to Hadi. I don't think there's anything that he can really do with as low of energy as he has, so he's just going to rest. And I feel like, unfortunately, Paul is in the same boat. I could spend my 1 fitness to try and ready him and soothe the fatigue, but that seems kind of ass. Like, if that doesn't go well, then that sucks. I guess what's the worst effect I can pull of that failing? Adding a token to the weather? Yeah, no, that is. So I'm going to try it. I'll do 1 fit into this. A 0. Okay, cool. So we do get a token on the weather, unfortunately. But we get to ready this and soothe the fatigue. So he gets to pick up a deeper understanding. We get to ready Oru. Hadi is already rested. One thing that's nice is he is exhausted, so if I use Oru on him, he does have to go within reach of someone, but within reach of someone is not going to trigger ambush because he is exhausted. So let's go ahead and just put 2 on him and move him. You know, I'm going to move him in within reach of... I don't want Vera to get beat up. I'm going to put him back in within reach of Paul and hopefully not regret that. Hadi is rested. Paul will rest, which unfortunately causes him 1 fatigue from his injury. But then we get to finish the round here. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my trail mix down here. I'm going to put my boundary sensor down here as well. Hopefully that'll make it a bit easier to put my guys that are within reach of me up in this space. And the pocketed belt pouch, I don't think I'm even using this anymore, so I'm gonna try and like shove it a little bit underneath the Memorial sketch pad again, just to make some room to clear up what's in front of who. So we draw 1 card for Paul, which is a perceptive. After you succeeded a test in which you committed this, gain an awareness. And then for Hadi is his 2nd trail mix, which is pretty nice because I'm not finding Kobo. Okay. Add 2 to this. If there are 4, it flips over. Move all prey 2 along the way, and then each ranger exhausts their roll. Okay. Flood. This attaches to either Vera or the Pouncing Aatrox. We're going to put it on the Pouncing Aatrox. And then for Paul is a Circling Irix. Now that's persistent, and I don't know what persistent does. Oh. Yeah, no. Persistent cards and all cards attached to them remain in play when you travel. So if we leave, he's going to still be in play, which is annoying, but, I mean, whatever. We'll just have to scare him off before we leave. Okay. It's not too bad of a... What does he say? If this being is along the way, move it within reach and it fatigues you. If this being is within reach and you have 3 or more fatigue, exhaust it and suffer an injury. Okay. So the crest doesn't do anything until he enters... he goes within reach. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to solve the flood and travel before... And also scare him off. Oh, I forgot to give... Dingus over here all of his stuff. So I'm pretty sure I just say that right off the bat, Oru is going to be exhausted to move him along the way and add 2 to him, which is going to clear him and put the last one on Rising Waters here. So when we have 3 on this mission, we read 107. With some quick thinking and a lot of back-breaking work, you manage to redirect the worst of the floodwaters and save what you can. Thanks to your effort, this location is through the worst of it. Check off the bubble matching your current location next to Rising Waters on the campaign tracker and remove all progress from its mission card. Then, if all 3 locations are complete, read the following. But that's not true, so we've done White Sky, we've done Golden Shore. So White Sky is the first one here. Switching to pencil for a little bit. These get cleared off, and now we're on our way to Kobo's market. Now, there's one thing going on that I would love very much to be able to do, but I don't know if I can, which is this. Brace yourself for the ride and move your guy to this location, your ranger icon to this location. When you travel, if all ranger icons are on this feature, you may travel to a location up to 2 paths away. So if we were able to do that, we could go all the way in one move, which would be relieving us of needing to deal with Boulder Field. But I don't know that that's something that Hadi can do that easily. He really has basically no reason icons. And so he pretty much have to breathe into it with 2. And Paul would need to do it first. So there's a lot of things going on that make that tricky. So we might just be leaving and seeing if we can get him put on top of the deck before we do so. So Oru moved him. I haven't done anything else yet. I think that does mean that Paul has to go first. Again, I don't know 100% for sure, but that's how that works. He is a predator, which is kind of nice. The Calming Presence, I could remove the predator trait from him. But I'm actually looking at it now, and I don't think that matters. That really doesn't matter. So we're not gonna bother with that. Another thing to consider, I guess, is I do have the Memorable Sketchpad to try and get to there. So maybe if... No, I think Paul scares off the Circling Eryx. Yeah. Paul scares off the Circling Eryx. So we're going to use our last sip on this to get 1. And we're just going to dump all 4 into scaring him off. Yeah, we're going to dump all 4 into scaring him off. So 4 against 2. -2. So it does succeed because it's a difficulty of 2. To place this being on top of the path deck. So we scare him off. Nice. Not bad. And then we get a whole bunch of crests, which... Ooh, okay. Have we cleared a bunch of prey? Technically, these guys should be up in lure. When a prey is cleared, set it aside. Okay. These guys should all be up here. Oh, no. And when you arrive at a new location while there's 5 or more total presence of prey set aside, you read 1.52. Shit, I think I'm accidentally going to summon Quiet because of this fresh Sitka carcass. Okay, but what does the effect say? If there are 2 active predators, exhaust them, return 1 set-aside prey to the collection. Okay, not happening. This needs to shuffle back. And there's no other... Oh, man, that's awkward. No! I really would like to not deal with Quiet immediately. I'd like to finish the Rising Waters. But maybe as a consolation prize, I can find Quiet and convince him and just not save Kobo's market and just say whatever. Kobo's market got flooded. Bye-bye, Kobo's market. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, I guess there's only a couple of other things left to do, which is like see what I need to do before I leave. And I think the answer to that is getting these Eagle Eyes back to my hand if I can. I totally forgot about the scouting available on White Sky itself. I don't know what it would have mattered, but I mean, it might have. The other thing is that I do have both of these Afforded by Natures in hand. If I hadn't gone quite so hard into doing that, I might have some spirit left to do this with, but that's not going to happen. Okay. Let's... I don't have my second Pads we've roamed before right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my trail mix, my last trail mix here, to soothe 3 fatigue. Strider, Compassionate, Thorough. Okay, super skilled up right now. There's a lot that Hadi can do, like a lot. Especially with the double Thorough, we can be exhausting everyone. But what we're actually going to do for this turn is play over my trail mix for a new one. Because I'm full up. And we're going to go back to Paul. Paul, I don't think you really have a whole lot to do. I guess we get this Virididex into play, right? Because we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're completely cranked out on uses. So I'm just going to put this here, and I have one more pocket belt, but I don't think I'm using the pocket belt, the pocketed belt pouch anymore. So that has two uses on it. We'll do this. Yeah, we'll do that. That has 2 uses, and this has 4. And this one is for avoid tests. So that'll be useful, hopefully, as we carry on. Back to Hadi. I played the trail mix. I'm going to, should I play the paths we've roamed before and get these into my fatigue pile? I think I can hold off on it. Yeah, we're gonna hold off. We're gonna wait. We're just gonna rest. Over on Paul. On Paul, I'm going to again try to I could try to remove some rain from the card with this shelter test for every 2 effort. No, I don't have a lot of icons for it. And that's not a feature, that's a weather card. I can't use my Memorial Sketchpad to do that. Okay, I think we're just gonna call this a day. So we're gonna rest as well. We're gonna travel. So we're exceeding the threshold on this. We do remove all path cards from play. Choose a new location. Assemble the path deck for the new location. Boulder Field through Woods. So there's the Woods set. And this is our random 3 cards from the Valley set that we always do whenever we're not at a non-pivotal location. So we're going to be arriving at Boulder Field with 14. And after we arrive at a new location, while there's 5 or more total presents, we read 1.442. Boulder Field. Long ago, a great mountain once stood here, but the millenniums passed. It steadily split and crumbled. At the edges of the boulder field, the ground is littered with round rocks the size of apples. As you head deeper in, however, the boulders grow larger until you find yourself weaving between what you imagine used to be the bones of the lost mountain, pillars of rock that reach towards the sky. Cool. And this says the lead ranger draws 1 challenge card, which I just reshuffled, I guess, and do the following based on the challenge icon. So for a sun, I scout 2 cards, then draw 1 card. Okay. So let's look at what we got. We got a Sunberry Bramble and Calypsa. Ooh. I think I'll take the Bramble. Calypsa could be a problem. Because if we're drawing Quiet and he's a predator, then they're going to, like, fight. He's going to, like, kill Calypsa, right? No, I'll just take Calypsa, and I'm gonna leave the Sunberry Bramble on top, actually. So that's that. 14. And reduce the presence of all beings in play by 1. Oh my god, that is really good. Okay, so lure, 1.42. Lure Quiet. Go to 1.42A. It took some time to find enough bait and even longer to get close to one of her hunting grounds. She's nowhere to be seen, but you don't have any interest in using yourself as bait. Instead, you release the prey animals and observe from a distance. You wait for hours before you spot movement. You hold your breath as the sleek, shadowy form of the largest bearded lynx you've ever seen slips out of the underbrush. With Quiet right before you, you have a choice. You can try to understand and perhaps even befriend the lynx, as Nal would want, or you can try to kill her and ensure the valley's safety, as Cordo would want. Flip the Lure Quiet card over to its confront side, but don't change your mission log. If you don't complete the confrontation today, you will have to track her down again. Put Quiet into play within reach of a ranger of your choice. Do not read her entry. Return all set-aside prey to the collection. Then, if you've understood the mulcher, go to 1.42D. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So she enters play with Hadi. She has Ambush, which is going to do 2 damage because her presence is reduced by 1, I think. Well, 2 fatigue, I should say. You found the Mega Predator. Now it's time to deal with it once and for all. When the subject of the mission is cleared, resolve the following effects instead. If you clear it with damage, permanently kill the Majestic Mega Predator, or if you clear it with progress, befriend and calm the beast. If the Predator has 2 per Ranger or more progress, resolve its fight effect. Or if the Predator has 2 or more, 3 Ranger or more injuries, move it. So we need to either deal 10 damage or get 10 progress on it. Holy shit. That is a tall order. Okay, so now that we're done all that, we refresh. 1 card for Paul is a balanced. I don't remember if I took a damage when I rested or not. Kobo for Hadi. Finally! I'd love to see a walk with me. Man, a walk with me would just be beautiful right now, but I guess that's not in the cards. Okay, so we add 2 rain to this card. If there are 4 or more, we move all prey to along the way, then each ranger exhausts their roll. Ugh. Then flip this. Shit. We've got a whole bunch of rain again. I don't think we're saving Kobo's market from the rain, fellas. Probably not happening. Did it say what to do with all the prey? Am I supposed to, like, what do I do with these? Do these just go back to the collection now, I guess? Maybe. We'll see. Okay, I'm here. And now, the moment of truth, which is drawing cards from here. 1 Sunberry Bramble for Hadi, and a Sitka Doe for Paul. Ugh. That was brutal. Drawing crests at all is a problem. I think I need to just exhaust Quiet immediately with a big dodge so that that's not going to be a problem. We're going to do 4 to dodge Quiet. And then I think that's fine. So 4 to dodge Quiet. +1. He's dodged. Then we get some suns, which is, again, going to fatigue us a little bit more. This is painful from that one. But there's no other, if there's another active predator, but he's no longer active because of the successful dodge. I believe he's supposed to have 1 more. There we go. Okay. So that's Hadi's turn. Over on to Paul. We need to get a lot of progress really fast on Quiet, because if we diddle around too long, we get to resolve his abilities and stuff. And we really don't want that to happen. I can move the Sitka Doe with Oru to Hadi so that when I try to interact with Quiet, nothing happens. I think I like that. So I'm going to put 2. I'm going to use Oru to put 2 onto the Sitka Doe and move him over to Hadi. Me just trying to bear in mind as hard as I can that all of these guys are on this side of the board. And then I have a turn that I can take. So I think that turn looks like spending an infusion canteen to get an extra energy and doing a really big connect with Quiet. Now I can get to 4, right? Because of that. 4 is pretty good. I'm happy with a 4, I think. I can put in more, but I don't think I need to. Yeah, let's do the 4. -1, so 3. Okay, so 3 progress on him. Then we get the mountains. So 1 to weather. Fuck off. Damn thing. Did I forget to take one off? Yeah, I did. I did forget to take one off. Because I just did each of us a fatigue. Any other mountains? And I'm interacting across the board. So add 1 to a path card. Oh, nice. Thank you, Calypsa. If there's an active prey, exhaust it, add progress to it and damage to this feature, both equal to that prey's presence. So we get an extra progress on the Sitkado and 1 damage on the Sunberry Bramble. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay, back over to a D. I think I'm just using the trail mix, which I don't really want to use, but using the trail mix to draw 3 seems pretty good. Ironwool Boots determined and another Pakodo. Okay. Gotta get the Pakodo soon, but not ready yet. I can do like a 4 connect against him. That's like okay. Don't want him to linger for too long is the problem, right? Like that's what I'm the most concerned about. Is if he's lingering for too long, then I'm not feeling good, Mr. Stark. But I have another third who exhaust him again next turn, so it's not that big of a deal. Now we're at the point though where if I draw the sun, he's going to be triggering his crest effect. And do I just resolve it even if he's exhausted? Probably. Because it just says resolve the crest effect. It doesn't say like resolve the active predator's crest effect or something like that. I think I just do it. Okay. We're just going to do the connect right now. I'd love to get Pakodo back into play. But, ooh, I could get the other compassionate into my hand though. Yeah. I already did the evade. I can't play Paths We've Roamed before or after doing the evade. Shoot. Oh, I could have planned this out a little bit better and been in a much better spot. But that's okay. Okay. We're going to spend 2 and the compassionate to get that progress on him. You know what? I think I'm going to put the breathe into it as well. To get up to 5. And the reason I want to do that is so that if I get all 5 or if I get 4, I can just Oru right away next turn, move him away. He's cleared. And we've done him. He's done, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 1. 6 progress on quiet. That puts him at 10 progress. Oh man, that feels good. And what do? I read, we cleared him, we befriend and calm the beast, so it is no longer an issue. 1.43. Oh man, this is exciting. Holy shit. Confront quiet. Bloody, wary, but uncowed, you carefully approach the angry bearded lynx. Quiet hisses at you, baring her fangs, but doesn't flinch or snap at you as you reach your hand to her nose. She sniffs cautiously, and then to your surprise and amazement, she leans forward and gives you an affectionate head rub that sends you tumbling over on your backside. Quiet starts to purr quietly, and you feel a warmth steal through your soul at the sound, as if you have some sort of deeper connection with her. You're not sure how you know, but you're convinced she won't come after anyone in the nearby villages now. She seems a lot more interested in you, so she might keep a wary eye on you from afar, and perhaps when you need aid. Complete the Lure Quiet mission, permanently remove Quiet from the Valley set, gain the Quiet reward card, and each ranger soothes 2 fatigue. Man, that is so cool. All right, so he is just gone from the set. We get the Quiet reward card, which I guess I'll fetch right now, kind of to show it off. It's this right here. It's a new ally, or a new being that you can put into play.
Friendly, persistent, and unique. You can exhaust, add 3 damage to a being, and 1 to quiet equal to that being, and damage to that to quiet equal to that being's presence. So you basically can get a bunch of really big swipes off against really low guys. And it says, the great lynx emerges from the undergrowth, silent as a shadow. She looks at you as if to say, today I will not eat you. Tomorrow, however, is another day. Oh man, that's so exciting. So we're done with the confront quiet mission. The lure quiet mission, I guess. But I don't think we get to add that right away. We have to rest. Wow, okay. Any crests in play? No, and then this reshuffles. Man, what a... Whew. Now we did clear her, I guess, so maybe we get another one on the sketch pad. I guess the next thing is, can we just leave? We need a lot of progress on Boulder Field to get out of here, but I think it's possible. It might be possible. Because if we can leave, then maybe we can solve the flood in Kobo's Market. I don't think we will, but maybe we can. Whew. Did I heal that 2 fatigue over here? I didn't. So what do we get? We get an engaging and another deeper understanding, which lets us just like move a bunch of stuff around. It might actually be a play. It's actually not that unreasonable. But anyways, it's Paul's turn now, because that was all over here. So how do we get out of here? The only thing I can really do with Paul is oh, I can use the boundary sensors on Paul. It might not be a bad idea. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll put in 1 to travel here. We'll commit the perceptive. That'll give us an awareness, which I don't think is entirely useful this round, but I mean, it can't be completely unuseful, right? I guess. And then we'll use 1 to get another one on that, which does exhaust that, but that's okay. So that'll be 3 against 1. That's fine. +1, nice. So that'll actually be 4 progress. That's really good from this guy, and he gets an extra awareness, which is not incredibly useful, but I mean, maybe it can be made use of. I don't know how, but maybe it can. Probably not, but maybe it can. Okay, but 4's good. 4's really good actually, because I think, oh, the Sunberry Bramble, yeah, that's annoying. It just occurred to me I'm going to have to take a fatigue to get past the Sunberry Bramble, but I think that's okay. So this is a trail, so I can actually put a Strider into this. So I'm going to take 1 fatigue to interact with the Boulder Field, because that's the only ready thing that isn't friendly. The Sitkadoe is not ready. I'm going to put 3 into that, and I'm just going to... I don't have anything to spend my fitness on other than interacting, so I'm just going to do a Strider. I suppose there's a world where I interact with this and clear it, but I don't want to put in three efforts to try and do that. So we're just going to go like a ridiculous amount into this. This should be shuffled back in. I think what's going to happen is we're going to get to Kobo's Market, and we're going to need to rest. We're going to need to camp, and it's not going to get unflooded, but we'll see. We'll see. 0 again. This reshuffles. But we get a whole bunch of progress on there, right? We get like 6 progress. Put the Strider away. And we're just gonna leave. We're just gonna leave. So that's fine. Back to Paul. I don't think there's anything for him to do really. There's no sense in doing anything. I don't think. I could try and find another gear, but I don't think that's useful. So we're just gonna rest and then rest. So it's a double rest. He rests, he takes a fatigue. Again, I really hope I didn't forget one earlier, but maybe I did. And we're gonna travel. So we're getting out of Boulder Field. And we're going to be heading to Kobo's Market through, what is that? That's a new one. The Grasslands. Kobo's Market at the Grasslands. So let's get that set up. Now the Grasslands are one I have literally never seen. This is all going to be brand new to me. I've played the demo and I've played a couple of days here, but I've never been to the Grasslands yet. So bear with me if there's a lot of reading all of a sudden. And Kobo's Market is not a pivotal location, right? So we have to find 3 more Random Valley cards. 3 cards. We'll shuffle that in a second. It's so hard. You're never going to stop hearing me say this. It is so hard to shuffle like 17 cards. I don't know what else I can be doing, but I feel like I am not randomizing these at all. So we've got to read 1.05 instead of the normal entry for these locations. So we're getting to Kobo's Market, but we don't get to really see what's going on at Kobo's Market. So there's that. We read 1.05 instead. Far off, you can hear shouts of alarm. You can just make out the dell that holds Kobo's Market through the driving rain. The water around the main structure is already knee-deep, and you can see Ren Kobo's porters saving what goods they can, retreating to the upper balcony. Divert the flood by clearing beings and features while they have a flood card attached. After setup, perform the following based on how many days have passed. Again, we're searching the general set for 2 flooded. One's going into play, one's going into the path deck. And we attach it to the one with the highest presence. So we're arriving here, and our arrival setup says the lead ranger searches the path deck for the next feature and puts it into play, which is the Whispering Fields. Oh, God. When you would draw a path card, instead, attach it face down to this feature. When this feature enters play, draw a path card. When you would draw a path card, face down to this feature. X is equal to twice the number of face down cards attached to this feature, so it's the presence of 2. Awareness plus connection, sense the movement in the tall grass. Choose a number of attached face-down cards at random equal to your effort and look at them. Choose one to put into play. If it has the ambush keyword, treat it as if it does not exist. If a random attached face-down, put a random attached face-down card into play. If it has the ambush keyword, suffer 1 injury instead of the fatigue. That is awful. How do I deal with that? Is there any way to discard this without dealing damage to it? Oh, it's Flora, and it's a trail. Okay, fine. Oh God, is this all just going to be? Oh, this looks desperate. Okay, I'm starting to understand what's going on here. So we now have to do the refresh round, the refresh phase, which readies everything, right? And gives us our energy back. And I believe this goes away, the 1 extra energy I had. Which is a bit of a bummer, but it's, I don't know, it's manageable. But then it's the, show this up, it's the path cards. So we each draw one and it goes here, right? When you would draw a path card, attach it face down to this feature. When you would draw a path card, attach it face down to this feature. So that's a fucking nightmare, dude. Oh, no, hold on. This should be flooded as well. Right. Oh, God. So this is flooded, and the other one should be in here. Should be shuffled in before I do that. Oh God, that is just disgusting. So we have to constantly be doing this awareness plus connection to sense the movement into the tall grass. I really hope there's an easy way for me to get rid of this. We might just have to rest and call this mission a wash, because I don't think I'm clearing this Whispering Fields anytime. And okay, so 1 from me, 1 from Hadi, and 1 from Paul. Ugh, and now this is like 6 presents. But I mean, it's tricky because like there's nothing going on now, but it's gonna be going on real soon. So what the fuck do I do? I genuinely am baffled as to what I'm supposed to do now, because I need to get rid of this. I need to deal 6 damage to this somehow to get rid of this flood. And I just don't see that happening. Not today. I wonder if, is this a trail as well? Yeah, the Kobo's Market's also a trail. I wonder if I'm just ending the day and trying this again. Seeing if I get a different feature when I start the next day. That's rough. Okay. We got to do this big awareness and sense test. Awareness and connection test, excuse me. So I think I'm going to leave that up to Paul, and I'm going to let Oru shuffle things over to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to double paths we've roamed before and get a bunch of things back into my fatigue stack so that I can do this. The problem is these eagle eyes are no good right now. Let's get a compassionate, one eagle eye, and one strider back into my discard pile. And I'm actually just going to take those and put them on top. And then playing that soothes me one fatigue with the iron wool boots. And we're going to use our last morsel off of a trail mix to look at 1, 2, 3 more. Right. Oh, it just occurred to me I could have done one less and given him his calming presence on top of his discard pile. I don't think that, but that just soothes the fatigue. That doesn't get it to him, and then he's got to do the Oru test. Okay, no, not happening. It's fine. So over on Paul, we're going to spend 2 awareness, and we're actually, oh, this is a feature. I can interact with the feature. We're going to do 3 against 1. And 3 is pretty good because yeah, no, 3 is quite good. Oh, hold on. No, I can do that. And I can even put in this engaging. And that puts me in another +3. Yeah, I like that. So I'm absolutely crushing this test. But it lets me do it without wasting anything. So +1, fine. Choose a number of attached face-down cards at random equal to your effort. Choose one to put into play. The Arcology Sinkhole, a Harvester Anthill. Do none of these deal damage to the Whispering Fields? I'm kind of confused. When you interact with this being, you may discard 1 token from an equipped food. If there's another active predator, exhaust it, add 2 to this and 2 to that being. If there's an active food, or you have food equipped, I don't have any food equipped, exhaust this being and suffer an injury. So what is this? How do I get rid of this? If there's 1 or more progress on this feature, the ground sinks under your feet. Discard 1 progress and add 1 damage to this feature. If there's an active hungry scroff, exhaust it and add progress to it and damage to this feature, both equal to the scroff's presence. I think I'm taking the scroff, but I don't know how this... I feel like I'm missing something. Like I don't understand how I deal with this ever. Okay, so maybe there's a different guy that I need to find? Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, anyways, we've got the scroff in play now, I guess. I'm just gonna use Oru to shuffle him away from me, though. I don't want this guy. So we'll shuffle him away and we'll put 2 progress on him. Scooch him away, put 2 progress on him. Okay, so back to Hadi. Hadi is a whole bunch of stuff, but nothing to do with it. We're gonna get Kobo into play though, because he needs his trail mix. So we're just gonna play Kobo. Back to Dingus over here. Is he a predator? Yeah, he is a predator. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out. I don't really understand what I'm supposed to be doing here. I don't see how I get rid of this. Oh, and this was supposed to have happened, so we add a token to the weather. That's fine. This will get 6, I guess. But I genuinely don't understand how I interact with this yet, which is a little frustrating because like I'm on a mission that I got to get this thing cleared off of it, and it's not it's very non-obvious to me how I do that. To a point of being confusing. But I guess I can just so I can try to get Oru. No, I don't like that either. It's a feature. I can't exhaust it. Oh man, that's just really tough to deal with. Let's spend an energy to get this up to 2, and then we'll use that to give us 1 more energy. And I think I'll just do a really big connect with this Groff, see if I can get rid of him. It's 4 to try and get rid of him. -1. So we get 3 on him, and then we get 1 to the weather. And if there's another active predator, which there isn't. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm already done Hadi's turn, which is a bummer, but yeah, that is a bummer. I dislike that. I'm going to retroactively say that I actually spent an awareness on this. Is there anything that Hadi can just like burn his turn doing? I feel like the answer is no. I'd really like to, though. I'm just going to waste a focus test, seeing if I can do the basic remember thing. So a 0, that is successful. So he gets to look at the top card of his deck for Artel's Fishing Rod. Not super useful, so we're going to put that in the bottom of the deck. And then draw a card. Another boundary sensor. That's kind of nice. But the big thing is I'm trying to delay a little bit. So if there is an active food or you have food equipped, exhaust this being. Ah, shit, and suffer an injury. Okay. That got rid of my walk with me. That's annoying. Okay. That's painful. Because that's going to end the day a lot faster. Okay. No, not that big of a deal, I guess. So it's back over to Dingus over here. Paul. So we're going to do 2 for a deeper understanding. Choose a being, move progress from the chosen being to each other card in play up to 1 per card. So we're going to go like that and that. No, we're just going to do that, aren't we? Because then Kobo can clear him. Yeah. That is correct. We're just going to go like that. And that's going to let me clear him, right? So do that. And then we're going to go back to Hadi. We're going to exhaust him to put an aid onto my trail mix, and then add 2 to this guy, which clears him. Which is going to put my memorable sketch pad up 1, but it's not been hugely useful. And then I think that's the end of the turns. So, Paul, you really don't have anything else to do with 1 fitness. No, that's not happening. We're just going to end the turn. That's going to rest and put fatigue away. And we're going to rest for Hadi and put a fatigue away as well. So there's no travel happening. We got to do our refresh. 1 card is a walk with me. That's really nice. Refresh. So we get just the top 2 cards go here, I guess. Which is like really weird. I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't get what I'm supposed to be doing. And maybe I should just like look through the deck and see, but yeah, I don't get it. Okay, well, we'll just keep going, I guess. I guess the other thing I can do is I can just try and get out of here and try again tomorrow. And I've been playing for like 2.5 hours straight now. I think probably going to be edited down quite a bit, but I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to dodge the Whispering Fields with Hadi. So he's going to take 1 fatigue from the flood, and he's going to try to interact with Kobo's market there. To do a big traverse. So let's get the fuck out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 1. -2. You've got to be kidding me. All right. Well, I get 7 progress up there. which is just absolutely horrendous to have happened. We'll use this boundary sensor to make sure that that's the full 8 that I needed, because that would be silly not to have done. And then we get the stuff, so we get like a flood token on this. We each take a fatigue, a random set-aside face-down card into play. And if it has the ambush keyword, I suffer an injury instead of the fatigue. A Morning Root, which lets you slice into it, adding damage to the feature, suffering fatigue, and choose a ranger. They soothe 3. Okay. It's weird. But anyways, this shuffles back in. I think I forgot to take that off. But we're just going to end the day there. We got quiet. We didn't get to save all of the places from the rising water. Kobo's market's probably flooded or something like that when we come back. Like, damaged by the flood, I guess. But that's okay. Like, you know, I got a good taste for what 2-player is. Paul's deck here was actually like a lot better than I was expecting it to be, I guess. It was pretty good. I am going to just do this though, like try this. I'll put a Call Me Presence into it, and I'll use my Mineral Sketch pad. It's like a 4 against it. That's successful. We each take another fatigue. Add a flood token. But we do get to look at this. Is there anything here? Okay, so the Artalope. If there's an active card with 2 or more presence, which would be the Whispering Fields, shuffle this being into the Path deck and draw 1 Path card. Okay. If there's an active Predator, exhaust it, add 2 damage to this, or damage to this being equal to the Predator's presence. If there's 1 or more damage on this being, exhaust each ready Artalope to add 2 to each being, 1 damage to each being, and each Ranger suffers an injury. Okay, so this still doesn't answer to me how I deal with this at all. I don't see that. But anyways, we're just gonna say rest, and we're gonna travel and call that a camp. So we're gonna be still at Kobo's Market and still in the grasslands, but we're gonna be able to add quiet to the deck. And I think I'm gonna go back to single player because that was like so much more time. That's something I would do off camera, no problem, but on camera, that was painful. Before I close it out, I am going to look through this and see like what's going on with this. I already seen the Scroffs. Is there no... I guess I don't really understand what I meant to do with this if I don't have things that damage flora. Is the answer just that I don't? How do I interact with this at all? Yeah, that's confusing to me. I would have thought that maybe there was like an animal that would have like cleared the fields out for me or something. Do you just have to like leave instantly the second that? Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't get it. I feel like there's something I'm missing. And if I'm not missing it, then I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't see any way for me to get this flood off of it, right? Because I can't clear this without, you know, being a what is it? The forager, right? The one that lets you put damage onto flora cards. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, like I said, pretty excited I got quiet. That's probably going to go into this deck. I'm not sure what it's going to replace is the only thing. It would be really easy to just say, oh, I'll replace my Thorough with quiet, right? But I can recur Thorough with paths we've walked before. I can't recur quiet. So I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll have to think about it before the next video, and that might still be what I do. I might just take Artel's fishing rod out of it while I'm not at a fishing area at any water locations. That might be the option, but we'll check off the day and we'll see what happens in the next one. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.